Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you sort of my initial impressions and a bit of a review on the Mamiya RB67. I've owned this camera now for 3 months and I've put a fair few rolls through it, so I thought that was enough time to give sort of a fair and valid opinion on using this system. The reason I got this camera is because I wanted to switch from using 6x6 negatives on my Yashica mat to then 6x7, which this camera shoots. The main reason for switching is just because shooting portraits on a square format is just not nice for the eye to look at, and it was making me not like my images. So I was like, you know what, let's get a camera that shoots 6x7, and that's quite a nice ratio for me to look at personally. And this camera can shoot the 6x7 portrait as well as spin in the background to shoot landscape, sorry. And you guys will know that you just switch the back round by spinning the back like that, and it clicks in, and then that's me going from landscape to portrait mode, just as easy as that. The other things about this camera which I'm really impressed with are the viewfinder. It's nice and clear, you can see there. And it actually has lines on the sort of the screen to tell you which mode you're shooting in. It lets you know if you're landscape or portrait, which is quite nice. The lens I have on this camera is the 127mm. I believe there's 3 different lenses for this camera. There's the 90, the 127, and then another one, I think. I didn't want the 90, so I just went with the 127, which is a bit more punched in, which for my style is sort of what I prefer. And it goes down to f3.5, which for me is also sharp enough for portraits, especially. At the end of the video I'm going to put up some more portrait examples and you can sort of see how sharp it is. I'll zoom in on them as well, so you can sort of see the edges on them are very nice and crisp, which is nice. My only bugbears with this camera really are the weight of it, which I knew that getting it would be a heavy camera just by watching YouTube videos. But watching YouTube videos and people telling you it's going to be heavy is a bit different to actually having it and realising how heavy it is. Those guys are not lying when they say this camera is packing a bit of weight. It has these like notches where you can put a strap on it, but I would not want the weight of this hanging around my neck. I'd maybe get one if I'm shooting portraits on a 60th of a second, which I will get into in a sec anyway. But other than like the weight, yeah, it is heavy. Like if I've been shooting like a day and holding it up here like this, by the end of the day my arms are aching. I might just be weak, but yeah, that is what I found personally. Going back to sort of the 60th of the second thing that I said for portraits, and some of you guys have been like, why is he shooting portraits on a 60th? Well, the increments on the shutter speed, it jumps, it goes 30, 60 and then straight to 125. Now I sometimes am shooting portraits on 90th of a second, especially if it's a little bit darker or I'm indoors and I haven't got like a decent lighting. Especially on like 35mm, I do find myself shooting 90th of a second quite a bit, and for handheld that is more than fast enough. But for 60th, the chances of you getting a bit of a movement in there, especially because it's such a large mirror moving around as well, are a little bit higher. But other than that, I cannot fault this camera at all. I got it from Japan off an eBay seller, which is kind of where you probably will find these yourself. Don't let the eBay and the whole Japan thing put you off buying them. They are kind of trusted sellers on there, and that's where most people who have bought these cameras are actually getting them from. If you do find one locally though, it's good for you, I guess. with all of this said now, I'm going to stop talking because we're coming up to like 5-6 minutes, and just going to end the video with some more sample images. Like I said, I will punch the portraits in a little bit or a lot so you can see how sharp they are, and I'll do the same with some of the landscape stuff as well, so you can get a better view of what this camera is capable of, I guess. I don't really think I've got anything else to say about it. Let me just think. Nah, I think that's it. Oh, actually, yeah, so the difference between this and the RZ, for some people who might not know, is this is all mechanical. Unlike the RZ, there is electric components in it. This is just mechanical, and because of that you have to wind the shutter and the mirror, and then also wind the film separately. It's two separate motions. If you forget to wind the film, you will double expose it. There's a little sort of red indicator thing in there which will tell you if you are got a double expose, so it's always important to make sure you remember to wind on. The shutter as well is in a bit of a weird place. It's down there. I'm going to buy a shutter button for this just to make it a little bit more ergonomic for my finger. But yeah, other than that, as long as you remember to take out the dark slide before you shoot, you'll be fine. There is a system in place though which stops you from shooting the camera when the dark slide is in there, so you don't have to ever worry about firing off a dark negative, which I think is an issue people have with the RZ or maybe another model of the RB. And then just to clarify that as well, the model I have is the Pro SD as well. I think there's like 3-4 different versions of this. I've got the Pro SD. Yeah, cool. I'm going to end the video here then. Like I said, show you some more images that I've taken with this camera. If you enjoyed this video, that's great, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And literally as I am filming this as well, the lab has just emailed me to say my scans are ready, and it is literally a ton of portraits that I shot on this camera, so I'm going to just whack them in the end of this video now as well, because I think these might be really quite nice, I hope. Some dude just straight up called me a nonce on Instagram for sharing a I don't even know if you can see that, but for sharing a competition to win a tent. What? Mate, what?